waking up 2, 3, or even more times a night. A single picture in your kitchen can help you sleep through without interruptions. For many of us, this nightly ritual feels like an unavoidable part of life. You go to bed exhausted, craving 8 solid hours of rest, only to be woken up again and again by that familiar urgent signal from your body. It feels like a betrayal. You lie back down, your heart beating a little faster, and the mental calculus begins. Will I be able to fall asleep again? The next day, you pay the price, a fog in your brain, a lack of energy, and an irritability that you just can't shake. You're not just tired, you're sleep deprived. But what if I told you the solution isn't about drinking less water and risking dehydration? What if the answer was about being smarter, more strategic with your hydration? In this video, I'm going to show you the one-pitcher rule. It's a simple, visual method that removes all the guesswork and puts you in the driver's seat of your body's fluid management. We'll also dive deep into the powerful 3-2-1 method, a countdown to bedtime that works in perfect harmony with the pitcher to create a truly formidable system for peaceful nights. Throughout your waking hours, gravity is your unseen opponent. As you sit, walk, or work, it constantly pulls fluids downward. Your powerful circulatory system, led by your heart, works tirelessly to pump blood up from your feet and legs, but it's an uphill battle. Over the course of the day, a small but significant amount of water escapes from your tiny blood vessels, the capillaries, and seeps into the surrounding tissues of your lower body. This is a normal process called peripheral edema. For many, it's so subtle you don't notice it. For others, it might show up as slightly swollen ankles or heavy-feeling legs. Think of your lower legs as a pair of biological sponges, slowly soaking up this excess fluid, drop by drop, all day long. The real problem begins the moment you lie down in bed. Suddenly, the rules of the game change entirely. By lying horizontally, you've neutralized gravity's downward pull. Your legs, once below your heart, are now on the same level, and all that fluid that was trapped in the sponges of your lower body is now liberated. It begins its journey back into your bloodstream, creating a sudden surge in your overall blood volume. Your kidneys are the master regulators of this internal ocean. They are incredibly sensitive and immediately detect this influx. Their response is swift. System overload. Fluid levels are too high. Begin filtration immediately. So they switch into high gear, producing urine at an accelerated rate. They aren't trying to ruin your sleep, they are performing a critical balancing act. The unfortunate timing is that this filtration process peaks about 2 to 4 hours after you've fallen asleep. Your bladder, nearly empty at bedtime, begins to fill with surprising speed. And that's what sends that loud, clear signal to your brain. Time to wake up, now. The water pitcher method is designed to outsmart this entire biological timeline. It's a proactive strategy that shifts this filtration work to the hours when you are awake and active, not when you're deep in slumber. Let's build your new tool for uninterrupted sleep. It starts with a simple glass pitcher. I recommend glass because it's non-porous, easy to clean, and crucially, it makes your progress visible at a glance. This isn't just about drinking, it's about seeing. A pitcher that holds around 64 to 90 ounces, about 2 quarts, is a perfect size. First, establish your personal daily water goal. A reliable guideline is to take your body weight in pounds and divide it by 2. The result is the approximate number of ounces you should aim for. For instance, a 180-pound person would aim for 90 ounces. A 160-pound person, 80 ounces. While this isn't a rigid medical prescription, it's a superb starting point for the kind of deep hydration that fuels your body and brain. Now, fill your pitcher with your total daily amount. Let's use our 90-ounce example. Once full, take a permanent marker or a strip of colored tape and mark this top level. This is your daily goal. Next, we create the most important mark, the evening limit. The guiding principle is that no more than a quarter, 25% of your water, should be consumed in the late afternoon and evening. For our 90-ounce goal, that's 22.5 ounces. For an 80-ounce goal, it's 20 ounces. Measure this amount from the bottom up and mark this lower level. This line is your critical signal. It's the visual cue that says, it's time to taper off. Now fill the pitcher to the top daily goal line. Your system is set. From morning through the afternoon, your objective is simple. Drink the water from the top mark down to the bottom mark. Keep the pitcher visible. This transforms hydration from a chore you forget into a clear visual game. You see your progress, which is incredibly motivating and prevents that 6 p.m. panic when you realize you've barely had anything to drink. The moment the water hits your evening limit mark, your strategy shifts. You now have permission to slow down dramatically. From this point until your 2-hour cutoff before bed, you only have that remaining 25% to sip on. This is enough to satisfy thirst, but not enough to create a late-night flood for your kidneys to handle. This method elegantly solves the problem of timing, front-loading your hydration into the active part of your day. It's simple, tech-free, and puts you in complete control. Now, for those of you who have been part of our community, you know I value the 3-2-1 method as a cornerstone of sleep hygiene. For new viewers, let's break it down, because when you combine this countdown with the water pitcher method, you create a powerful 1-2 punch against nighttime awakenings. Let me tell you about a client of mine, David. He came to me utterly exhausted. Not only was he waking up 3 to 4 times a night to use the bathroom, but he was also dealing with painful, swollen legs every single morning. He started with the water pitcher rule, and within a week, he came back to my office absolutely beaming. He was sleeping through most of the night for the first time in years and was full of new energy. But even as he was celebrating, I could hear a slight hesitation in his voice. So I asked him, "David, that's fantastic news, but is there something else?" He looked down for a moment and then admitted that the swollen, puffy legs hadn't gone away. And that's when I told him about the next critical step. 2 weeks after we added the second secret to his routine, David called me. With pure joy in his voice, he told me that just that morning, he'd been out in the backyard playing ball with his grandson, something his aching legs would have never allowed him to do before. Now that we have our hydration blueprint, let's move on to that second secret, which integrates this principle into a full pre-sleep routine. Secret number 2, the 3-2-1 method, your pre-sleep countdown. Before we begin, if you find value in this, please consider tapping the like button. If it feels right, subscribing to the channel means you'll get more helpful health tips like this more easily. And when you have a moment, please share your country in the comments. It's a wonderful way to see that we are a global community, all working together for better health, and it helps others feel less alone on their journey. Thank you. The 3-2-1 method is a memorable sequence for the final hours of your day. The 3 stands for stop eating 3 hours before bed, no more meals, and critically, no snacks. Digestion is an active process. It raises your core body temperature when it should be dropping for sleep. But more relevant to our topic, salty foods like chips or nuts force your body to retain water, adding even more volume to that fluid reservoir in your legs that's waiting to be released. Sugary snacks can disrupt blood sugar, making you thirsty and tempting you to break your drinking rules. The 2 stands for stop drinking all fluids 2 hours before bed. This is where your pitcher's evening limit line becomes your best friend. Your goal is to have finished that last 25% by this cutoff. This 2-hour window is the approximate time your kidneys need to process that last intake of fluid and complete their work. Think of it as closing the main water valve to your bladder well in advance of bedtime. This applies to everything, even herbal tea. Alcohol is especially deceptive. It's a diuretic that might make you drowsy at first, but will wake you up later by actively forcing your body to produce more urine. Finally, the 1 hour before bed. This isn't about stopping something, but about starting a simple 2-part routine. First, elevate your legs for 10 to 15 minutes. Lie on your bed with your feet on pillows or on the floor with your legs up the wall. Remember those biological sponges we talked about? This is how you proactively wring them out before sleep. Instead of letting that fluid seep back into your system over 4 hours while you're trying to rest, you are taking control. You're triggering the fluid shift on your schedule, giving your kidneys a crucial head start on their nightly workload. This allows you to empty your bladder one last time before bed. Second, practice double voiding right before you get into bed. This technique is recommended by urologists. Go to the bathroom and empty your bladder normally. Don't rush. Then stay for another 30-60 seconds. You can remain seated or stand up and sit back down. Now, lean forward slightly and try again. You'll often be surprised that a little more comes out. The bladder is a muscle, and this technique ensures it contracts fully, starting you on a truly empty tank for the night. You can see how these systems lock together. The pitcher manages your hydration all day, and the 3-2-1 method is the perfect evening shutdown sequence. Now, I understand many of you have tried bits and pieces of this advice before. Success often lies in avoiding the common pitfalls that sabotage your efforts. The most frequent mistake is playing catch-up with water in the evening. You get home at 7 p.m., realize you're dehydrated, and chug 2 or 3 glasses. From a sleep standpoint, it's a recipe for disaster, creating a massive fluid surge your kidneys have to handle overnight. The pitcher's constant visual presence is the cure for this. The second, as we've touched on, is the harmless late-night snack. That small bowl of ice cream or handful of crackers can undo all your good work by introducing salt or sugar. The 3 in the 3-2-1 rule is your non-negotiable shield against this. A third subtle mistake is underestimating a sedentary day. Long periods of sitting give gravity a huge advantage, allowing a larger reservoir of fluid to pool in your legs. A reservoir your kidneys will have to work overtime to drain later. The solution is simple. Break up your sitting time. Get up every hour. Do some calf raises. A short evening walk makes a remarkable difference. And finally, having just a little sip before bed. It seems harmless, but it can be just enough to restart the engine of your urinary system when it should be powered down for the night. If you follow the pitcher method, that desperate late-night thirst should disappear. So my friends, this is a complete system for working with your body's natural processes, not against them. Unbroken sleep is not a luxury. It is the foundation of your physical health, your mental clarity, and your emotional well-being. I'm not asking you to overhaul your entire life. Just take one small step. Find a pitcher today. Create your 2 lines. Follow this one guide tomorrow. Then, tomorrow night, try the 3-2-1 method. Commit to it for just 3 nights and observe. Do you wake up less? Do you feel clearer in the morning? See the results for yourself. Which part of this system are you most excited to try first? Let me know your choice in the comments below. And if this video gave you a sense of hope that you can solve this problem, just type the word hope. Your success stories and your hope inspire everyone else in our community. And of course, please subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so we can continue to walk this path to better health together. Take care. May your nights be quiet and your mornings bright. I'll see you in the next video. Many seniors have been already benefited from this video. Click to see what you've been missing.